Good evening, friends. Today we would install Arch Linux on a virtual machine. So let us boot up the virtual machine first. When you insert your Arch Linux bootable pen drive, then you would be greeted with this screen. It would automatically boot into the Arch Linux install medium. As you can see, the live install environment has booted up. If you are using Wi-Fi, then you would need to connect to Wi-Fi, but it is recommended that you use a broadband connection connected via the Ethernet cable to your laptop. You can initiate the install by the command arch install. As you can see, the arch install has booted up. As you can see, the arch install language has been set to English. The locales have been set to US defaults. Mirrors and repositories, press enter. First, you need to select the regions. Use the arrow keys to bring the selector to India. Press spacebar so that a cross mark appears besides India, which indicates that India has been selected. It is recommended that you also select United States of America. Press a spacebar. And it is recommended that you also select the worldwide servers. Press the spacebar. A cross mark appears indicating that it has been selected. Press enter. We do not need to add custom servers. However, we need to add optional repositories. Press enter. Press spacebar so that multi-lib gets selected. Press enter. We do not need to add a custom repository. Go back, press enter. Disk configuration, partitioning. Use a best effort default partition layout. Press enter. Press spacebar to select your disk. Press enter. Select your file system as ext4, which is recommended. Press enter. LVM, you do not need to touch LVM or disk encryption. Now you can go back, press enter. Disable swap. It can be run using the system deboot, but it is recommended that you select grub, press enter. Unified kernel images, disable unified kernel images. Install to removable location, disable this, no. Plymouth, disable this, no. You can go back now, press enter. Kernels, as you can see, the default Linux kernel has been selected, press enter. Host name. Now you can give a host name of your choice, Arch Linux Virtual. Authentication, press enter. Set a root password. It is recommended that you set a difficult root password which is known only to you. However, since it is a virtual machine, I would be setting a simple password. Add a user. Enter your username. Be advised it cannot contain a capital letter. It is recommended that you make your user a super user. Press yes. You can now confirm and exit. Two-factor authentication devices are not found. You do not need to touch it. Now you can go back. Profile. Type, it is recommended that you select desktop. I have a preference for Genome, but you're free to select any other desktop environment. Press spacebar, then press enter. Graphics driver, press enter. If you do not have a AMD or NVIDIA graphics card, it is recommended that you select Intel open source drivers. Press enter. Greeter, press enter. If you install the Genome desktop environment, then it is recommended that you use the GDM. Press enter. Now you can go back. Applications, it is recommended that you enable Bluetooth. It is recommended that you use Pipewire audio. Print service you can enable if you need it, but you can leave it if you don't. And firewall, it is recommended that you enable firewall D. Additional fonts, it is recommended that you select all of them. Just press spacebar on each one of them. Press enter. Now you can go back. Network configuration, it is recommended that you use Network Manager, which is the default backend. Press enter. Package Manager, press enter. Color, press enter. It is asking to enable colored output for Package Manager. You can press yes, press enter. Now you can go back. Additional packages. It is recommended that you install Firefox. Press spacebar, press enter. Time zone, press enter. Since I am from India, I would select Asia, Kolkata. Press enter. Automatic time sync, NTP, press enter. It is recommended that you say yes to it. Now bring the selector using the arrow keys to the install option. Now you can read. Hostname set at Arch Linux Virtual. Kernel set Linux. Automatic time sync NTP has been enabled. Time zone is Asia, Kolkata. Additional packages Firefox would be installed. Package manager is color enabled. Mirrors and repositories. Mirror regions are India, United States, and worldwide. Optional repositories are multilib, which has been enabled. Bootloader grub has been selected. Disk configuration is default and it will use your hard disk. Authentication is root password is set. Configured 1 users. Locales are US defaults. Profile is desktop. And Intel open source graphics driver. In addition to the GDM greeter. Network is handled by the network manager, which is the default backend. And applications are Bluetooth enabled, audio server being Pipewire, firewall being Firewall D, and extra fonts installed. Now, if you are satisfied with this configuration, then you can press enter, in which case it will ask you one last time whether you are like to initiate the install. Select yes, and now it would initiate the install. Now this step, sorting your selected mirror list based on the speed between you and the individual mirrors, this step generally takes a while. And as you can see, it has started. So now, as you can see, it is saying that installation is completed in 10 minutes 32 seconds. What would you like to do next? Exit this script, the arc install, and reboot system, or root into the installation for post installation configurations? You should reboot the system. So if you do not remove your pen drive, then it would reboot again into the live environment, which we do not want. Go to preferences. Remove this arch linux.iso file, otherwise it would keep rebooting into the live install medium, live install environment. Remove. So as you can see, it is no longer in the drive. Now you can close it. And now you can see that you have booted into the grub bootloader. It is now loading your home environment. And now you will find yourself on your greeter. This is the GDM greeter. Click on your username. You can enter your password now. Press enter. And now you have booted into the GNOME desktop environment. You can take the tour. Or you can close it. If you press the Windows key on your laptop, which is pronounced the super key in Linux terminology, then you would reach here. So now you can feel free to enjoy your new fresh Arch Linux installation. In order to shut it down, press the power button and power off. Click the power off button and it would shut down.